Coming up on Ag Week TV, what's ahead for the grain markets after a season of planting delays and the trade war? I'm here at the Johnson Farm near Frankfort, South Dakota, winners of this year's South Dakota Leopold Conservation Award. And we'll meet a farmer who's taking his patriotism to a whole new level. Welcome to Ag Week TV. I'm Michelle Ruck. The grain markets had an interesting spring with the ongoing trade war with China and unprecedented planting delays in a majority of the Corn Belt due to wet weather. So what's ahead for third quarter? Luke Swenson and Jason Winter join us with their insight. And let's talk about the USDA reports. The big ones are out of the way now, but lots of confusion after the reports. And Luke, we're going to resurvey. What are we resurveying and when will we get the results to know what acreage really is?
The final results, it'll probably be like 2009, 2010 when they keep revising until about 2020. They're coming out, they're doing a resurvey of the 14 primary states for corn and beans coming out in the August report, which is going to be tied into crop insurance, certified or FSA certified acres. I'm curious to see where it's going to come. You know, the subjectivity behind the report was just unbelievable, as you've got USDA people actually online answering questions afterwards within 30 minutes of it saying we're going to resurvey, even though they trust the data, which was taken somewhere between June 1 and June 17th. Well, if all this was June 1, you could argue some of it's pretty relative. On the flip side, if it's not very relative, if it all came in on June 17, you could argue they're actually pretty close. Problem is a lot of the numbers, when you break down to the state-by-state level, just really don't seem to add up with what people saw probably well into June 20th this year.
The farmer doesn't have to give his planting FSA numbers until July. So once that happens, we're going to see numbers in the August from FSA, from September and October, and so that's probably when we're finally going to get an idea of what's happening for sure or not.
Yeah, so what do we use for acreage in the July 11th report?
They operate independently, so they're not necessarily obligated to tie to it.
So Jason, with the report out of the way now, does the market shift its focus towards yield and trying to figure out what production is like?
We could only be in the second or third inning of this whole debate basically on acres and yields. You know, we'll have the July 11th report next week. That could change everything again, but there's just so many variables going forward. We still got demand. We still have plenty of world stocks, plenty of competition from South America as far as demand goes, and you know, and then where do prices go? Where are we rationing? You know, rationing. You know, our own demand as far as feed and ethanol. So this is unprecedented what we've seen in terms of these historical planting delays across the entire Corn Belt. So what are you guys using for an analog year to try to help position producers in this light of this situation? Going back, it's tough to find a year. Some of these weather guys say this is like the wettest spring we've had, or the wettest past 12 months we've had, and almost going back 125 years. So you can go back and look at other years, but usually we actually get the crop planted in an okay fashion, and then it's just about the weather going for a while. Here we had such late plantings in June, but yeah, the weather is still going to be very important going down the road. We're going to need, we're all going to be, the market's going to be watching the growing degree day units, and we're going to need some heat, which I think we've got some here recently. And but just seeing how this crop can come out of you know, basically this kind of debacle that we had going on through May and June. So we can, I guess, with certainty say it's going to be a very volatile next few months. So let's talk about marketing advice. Luke, first, what are you doing with your clients?
The whole way up, I normally love selling options. This year, as we've been adding sales the whole way, we've been telling people if you're selling, re-own, because who knows what this thing's going to look like. So we've got some stops under the market that after last week's report with the acres, we might hit again. And if we add 10% there, we prefaced to all our managed customers saying if those get hit, we will be on top of you to make sure you're adding calls, because who knows how this thing's going to play out. Volatility is going to be around. The big difference between, say, 2007 or 2012 is as Jason said, we have big stocks coming into this year. So,
Right.
you know, those years we had tighter stocks and a production issue. This year we have big stocks. There's a cushion, and we've cried wolf in different areas for 5 years. The market's going to make us prove there is not a crop here before they really go ballistic and ration. And
like we've mentioned a few times, there's going to be plenty of volatility from now, probably going through this whole next year. And the value of options, whether you're selling and using calls or just using straight put options to try to manage this risk, is going to be the key. And it's going to be important for farmers if they haven't been paying much attention to their marketing to for surely be working with somebody on doing that.
Thanks to both of you. Thanks to Luke and Jason for joining us for our Market Roundtable. Coming up next on AgweekTV, conservation is just a way of life here at the Johnson Farm, the winners of this year's South Dakota Leopold Conservation Award.
Mother Nature doesn't always cooperate. So when conditions are right, be ready with genuine Case IH parts from Titan Machinery. Only genuine Case IH parts are engineered to keep your equipment running at peak efficiency when you're running around the clock. Don't risk your bottom line with off-brand parts that don't meet the same standards. Visit your local Titan Machinery dealership today to find out why genuine Case IH parts offer the best value and performance for your operation.
With the success of the Case IH Steiger Quad Track and Magnum Road Track tractors, it's no secret why Case IH is the leader of the track. So it wasn't surprising when the competition started imitating us. But only Case IH offers a 5-axle design to give you a smoother ride, more power to the ground, with less berming and compaction. Still, we're flattered. In fact, if we weren't already red, we'd be blushing.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Crary Wind Systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Crary offers two solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Crary Air Reel or Crary Wind System today.
Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley source for Batco. Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley Batco dealer.
When the water's high and your yields are low, 'cause your fields have no place for water to flow, just one call takes care of it all. Call on Field Drainage Incorporated. Call on Field Drainage Incorporated. Call on Field Drainage. Experts in
Each year, South Dakota's governor recognizes a private landowner for their dedication to the land, water, and wildlife resources in their care. This year, the Leopold Conservation Award went to the Johnsons, who farm 1,800 acres of cropland and 500 acres of grassland in Spink County. Conservation is a conscious choice for the Johnsons. It started with the decision to go 100% no-till in the mid-1980s.
In '86, I no-tilled every acre of corn into weed stubble, just all in, and it worked.
He started no-till to save moisture, but integrated cover crops, intense crop rotations, and cattle into the system, and soon realized many other benefits.
The ground is really mellowed up. The organic matter has come up. I know from when I started, I have to look at the soil samples to check, but I know it's probably come up 1.5 points.
Soil health, as well as a water retention, help build the soil aggregates and just have a lot of diversity in your crop rotation, and it's just better for our cropland.
The Johnsons have also adopted technology like variable rate seed and fertilizer application, and that's increased production in both dry and wet years.
We've had really good yields on our farm, and they keep going up, and now it's just a matter of making sure that it's profitable.
And he says a profitable operation involves being sustainable, which for them is just doing what is right for their operation.
Conservation's what we've been doing here for 30-some years, and it's why we're still here. If we're good to the environment and good to the soil on our operation, it's something that we can continue for the other generations.
The Johnsons, this year's South Dakota Leopold Conservation Award winners. A South Dakota dairy is also hosting a bright young college student from Kenya, Africa for the next year. He's taking part in the Ohio program, an agricultural work experience opportunity offered through Ohio State University. Kevin Kamau is working at Modak Dairy in Goodwin, South Dakota, learning all about the dairy industry. He wants to take this knowledge home and start his own dairy operation. He says dairying in Kenya is very small scale and the milking is all done by hand.
There isn't so many dairy farms in Kenya. We have these small farms, they keep 10 to 20 cows, but most people keep 3 to 4 cows. That's what I've been milking.
He's had hands-on experience milking cows, formulating rations, treating sick cows, and raising calves. Kamau will be at Modak Dairy until next March. This time of year we see a lot of flags flying, but up next we'll meet a farmer whose flag is a permanent fixture. And later we'll visit with an expert about what's ahead for livestock markets.
Luckin Trucks and Parts sells quality used parts for all makes and models. With over 50 acres of trucks and parts and new inventory arriving daily. Family owned and operated since 1966, Luckin's specializes in the sale of quality used medium to heavy duty truck parts as well as pre-owned trucks, trailers, and construction equipment. If it's on a truck, we got it. Call us today and let us get you your part.
It's the perfect time to get ready for harvest, and North Star Ag has the equipment you need to keep things running smoothly this season. We have a great selection of augers from Meridian and Wheatheart, as well as Batco and Unitube conveyors. Uptime is crucial. Keep your crew in the field longer with a fuel trailer from Thunder Creek. And don't forget, North Star Ag has Meridian hopper bins for any size operation. See our complete new and used equipment inventory at northstarag.com or give us a call.
How can one tillage tool handle most field conditions, residue types, and tillage practices? It takes a Renegade, the Summers VRT Renegade. Switch from vertical to aggressive tillage and anywhere in between. Adjust blade angles, tillage depth, and more on the go, all from an iPad. Get the tillage results you want, like only the Summers VRT Renegade can. For more information or a demo, contact your Summers dealer.
At Superior Grain Equipment, we're committed to quality and service, offering you the best in grain storage and dryers for any size operation. Our experts will work with you to determine the most efficient and economical storage solution for your needs. We help protect your bottom line and your future with the industry's best bins and warranties. Make the superior choice for protection today and tomorrow with Superior Grain Equipment.
This is Dennis Beliski reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On-site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
For farmers, flying Old Glory isn't just for the 4th of July. Many farmers proudly display the stars and stripes all year round. Agweek's Mikkel Pate sees a lot of flags on farms as he travels around the countryside. He came upon one in Iowa that took much more effort than running it up the flagpole.
We did it because we were so thankful to be living in a free country and wanted to, show our appreciation.
This round-raftered hog shed has stood on the DeYoung farm near Orange City, Iowa since 1920. But in 2011 it needed a new roof, so Ronald and Arda DeYoung decided it was the perfect canvas to show their patriotism. But their idea to cover it with a flag was no small task.
They had to do a little special measuring with the computer to get the right width and the right stripes and the right stars. If it would have been me, I would never have had it that accurate, but it had to be as accurate as what we could get it.
He's not exaggerating. DeYoung says many who stop comment on the flag's authenticity. The DeYoungs say the flag has served as a backdrop for everything from family portraits to wedding pictures.
It's really amazing how many people will stop on the road and get out and take pictures. I mean, we never imagined.
Ronald DeYoung and his two brothers are military vets, and he displays this flag with pride and gratitude. Near Orange City, Iowa, this is Mikkel Pates for Ag Week.
The heat is finally on, which should give crops a boost. Here's our agri-weather outlook.
Weather portion of Ag Week now. We're getting into the height of summer now, the middle part of July, and yet we're not looking for any real heat into the midsection of the country. This is pretty common fare when it rains and rains and rains in one location. In the summertime, all that evaporative cooling from all that rainfall has a tendency to keep the weather fairly cool. So this is not an unusual pattern. The heat is going west this week, and next week it will remain and actually exceed and continue to be cooler in the middle of the country. One change, we've been gravitating since June into July of a somewhat less rainy pattern. July weather is always rainy. There are going to be showers and thunderstorms. Some of those are going to be heavy, but not a lot of widespread, organized, really heavy precipitation. Jet stream through the middle, maybe a brief warm-up midweek this week, early in the week and the middle part of the week, but then the hot weather up in Alaska, that's going to collapse a little bit. You may have heard stories about temps this weekend up in the 80s up in Alaska. That's actually going to cool down a bit, and that's going to send the jet stream a little bit further south, and the heat will be confined to the southern part of the U.S. through this week. Moving into next week, there'll be signs of a little bit of ridging over the western United States, not all the way up to Alaska, but enough to bring the hottest weather into the desert southwest. Monsoon season will begin there and send relatively mild to cool weather through the northern plains, the Corn Belt, and the Great Lakes states where it's likely to linger. As far as precipitation goes, there certainly will be showers, thunder showers, and some stormy weather. Looks like concentrations will be the southern plains through parts of the northern Corn Belt, but not a lot of really excessive rain is expected. The second week, now we're through mid-July, area of rain in the northeast. The deep south will get a little bit wetter, but most of the Great Plains and Corn Belt just slightly below average and cooler than average weather.
With the all-new GreenFit system from Reichart, plug-and-play is finally a reality when using John Deere AutoTrack guidance with existing new products like the Challenger 1000 series or all-new C-Series Rogators from Butler Machinery. GreenFit is an authorized navigation interface that utilizes existing John Deere AutoTrack guidance systems to steer most Challenger tractors and sprayers. GreenFit eliminates the worry of learning and converting to a new steering system when buying an industry-leading Challenger from Butler Machinery. Learn more about GreenFit at butlermachinery.com/greenfit.
DTE is your headquarters for flatbeds and service bodies for your truck. Whether you need to haul bales, heavy commercial equipment, or take every tool with you, DTE has the truck equipment you need. We have over 200 units on hand or will custom build a flatbed or service body on your truck.
Like this Dewey's bale bed with dual lift cylinder arms. Lift, load, and handle your bales with ease.
When you need help at the farm, your business, or in the oil patch, count on DTE. DTE, let us build a truck for you.
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com.
Steffes Group, selling land and the equipment to farm it since 1960. If you're interested in selling or have questions about our auction process, head to our website at steffesgroup.com to contact us at any one of our 4 locations located throughout the Midwest. You can also visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel to view all of our auction previews and recaps to stay up to date on the market in your area.
With the success of the Case IH Steiger Quad Track and Magnum Road Track tractors, it's no secret why Case IH is the leader of the track. So it wasn't surprising when the competition started imitating us. But only Case IH offers a 5-axle design to give you a smoother ride, more power to the ground, with less berming and compaction. Still, we're flattered. In fact, if we weren't already red, we'd be blushing.
Big supplies and fund-long liquidation plagued both the cattle and hog markets in second quarter. What can we expect for third quarter? Tim Petrie is here to visit about that. Let's talk about this cattle market. Do you think we've kind of put a short-term bottom in? Can we start working higher?
Yes, I think so. We've taken about, particularly on the feeder cattle side, but you're right, they ran up to over $160 there in April. And, well, you know, the funds were looking for something bullish, and that was the only game in town with corn and so on. Obviously, that's changed now. So, yeah, I think we've found a bottom here. And on the feeder cattle side in particular, we just have to wait and see what corn does. And the opposite relationship there. Change corn 10 cents a bushel, change calf prices $1, opposite direction. So that's the case there. And then on fed cattle that we once thought would be about the same as last year are kind of underperforming on exports a little bit and all the trade issues and so on. So that's affected the distant futures a little too on fed cattle.
But prices are actually above a year ago, aren't they?
Yes, on the fed cattle side, both cows and fed cattle are above last year in spite of record beef production, competing meat production, and slower exports. So, you know, domestic demand is pulling us there. Just about all cuts of meat are the same or above last year, beef, I should say.
The hog market was also plagued here, has been, by big supplies. The hogs and pigs report was a little bearish, at least for the near term. And so what are you seeing ahead for that market?
Yeah, on the hog market, we're right back to where we started. I mean, we were in the 70s, and that was the expectation for this year, which is a good price, you know, $15 above break even or so. And then ASF hit, and so all the emotion around that took them to over $100 July futures, and now they're back down to 74. So a wild market there. Our exports that maybe we thought would go to China have not materialized at all, and so that's really hurt the market here in the last month.
So do you think if we get a deal, we could see that market really appreciate, or is that the only thing that can turn that market because we're working with the headwind of such big supplies?
Yeah, we got big supplies. You know, we've got 7% more, over 180-pound hogs, and we're doing record production every week. And ASF could be a game changer for the entire meat industry, but I think we're probably a year away at least from that now, because China is slaughtering a lot of hogs that, you know, and putting them in cold storage because they know they're going to be worth a lot. In fact, the hog prices in China are double what they are in the U.S.
USMCA getting that ratified would help, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We're struggling too on Mexico is our best pork customer by far, and they take a lot of things that we don't use as much, particularly take a lot of fresh hams for us, and they've backed off too. But Mexico is ready to do USMCA. Both the president and their legislature there has signed it. So, yeah, that would really, really help us with get MCA.
We appreciate your analysis, and thanks for coming in. Tim Petrie with NDSU. Still ahead on Ag Week TV, we'll take you to a popular summer event honoring one community's ag heritage.
For over 40 years, Northside Implement has been your Gell and Vermeer dealer in Webster, South Dakota and Lidgerwood, North Dakota, with new equipment including feeding, grain handling, haying, and skid steer, as well as a nice selection of used equipment including sprayers, spreaders, seeding, as well as tractors and loaders. Northside Implement stands behind the equipment they sell with quality service guaranteed. See us for all your repairs and parts, from tillage to skid steer loaders to combines and everything in between. Contact Dave, Liddell, Mike, or Chris today at Northside Implement, or visit our website for our complete equipment listings.
Ag Week is excited to bring you the Ag Week app with useful features and the latest news and information right at your fingertips. Get your Ag Week news, weather, and the latest episodes of Ag Week TV. Plus, see real-time information on the futures market and view local cash bids for your crops. Stay updated and take Ag Week with you wherever you are. Download the Ag Week app today.
Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? Ag Week magazine. Reaching over 70,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. Ag Week provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted. Ag Week. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
In the summer months, many rural and ag communities host annual festivals. Katie Pinky attended one of her favorites recently.
Michelle, I recently went back to my hometown for my favorite summer event, the Annetta, North Dakota Turkey Barbecue. It started 59 years ago, and while Annetta is no longer a turkey growing area, the tradition continues. Every year, exactly 312 turkeys are roasted. Why is this important to a rural area?
Well, what else would we have to bring the people back? We've lost enough here, and this will hopefully help keep our name on the map.
You've never missed a turkey barbecue?
No. They always need help, and I guess Dad was always helping from the beginning, and we just had to do it.
My sister-in-law said it's more important than Christmas. And I think that a lot of families feel that connection to the turkey barbecue. A matriarch of the Annetta Turkey Barbecue, Yvonne Hoagie, sees the importance of the event continuing.
It keeps us alive, so we don't die. Keep us going. It's amazing how many people from cities think that food comes off the counter. It doesn't. It comes from out here, where we work hard to produce it.
So what's the secret to why the Annetta Turkey Barbecue turkeys taste better?
Lighter fluid is the secret mix between gas and diesel, and that works pretty good. And then we let all the fumes go away, and then we fire accordingly.
Russell's daughters all have been trained to work alongside him in cooking the turkeys. Daughter Sophie is an engineer for John Deere.
Our main job is to take the temperature of the turkeys, so we take them throughout just to make sure that they're progressing correctly, and then definitely at the end to make sure that they are cooked to the right temperature so everything's safe to eat and good to eat.
Why is it important for there to be a next generation at rural community events like this?
I think in rural communities, you just grow up knowing that you're the next to carry the torch. Whether it be with farming or events like this, there's always someone that's going to come next and continue that event. For us, it was always important because our grandpa was one of the people who started the turkey barbecue. And our dad was there in the very first one, so we've always known from a young age that we are going to be next to continue in the legacy.
I hope to return every third Saturday in June for many future Annetta Turkey Barbecues, not only for the turkey, but for the connection to a farm community and the people I love.
Thank you, Katie.
All right.
Watched you grow up.
Yeah.
Yep, I watched Katie grow up.
Despite the rain, the event still fed 1,600 people, down from last year's 2,500. The planning for 2020's 60th annual event has already started. Michelle?
Thanks, Katie, and thanks to you for watching this week's edition of Ag Week TV. Remember, for all your ag news, you can go to agweek.com or download the Ag Week app. Be sure to follow us as well on Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you next week.